Upgrades, people, upgrades!
We are going to get rid of the MPU 650, an antiquated sensor which has low accuracy. It offers from 1 to 3 minutes without drifting. As a result, we are going to replace it with the BIMI 180, a sensor with a much higher accuracy, which can give you from 5 to 10 minutes of smooth tracking. This new sensor will greatly improve your VR experience. Instead of reusing this old case model, we are going to make a new one because it has a lot of problems. For example, these thin pieces, they are really easy to snap, like this part, and it is missing the USB port. And the biggest of our problems is that the case cap is too easy to open. For example, any grace can open the case and spill all the electronics, breaking them, like this. Introducing the new Neosope V1 case.
Sleeked. Compact and aesthetic. It has a cap with a sliding mechanism, a screw to lock the cap, easy access to the I/O ports and reset button.
Shut up and take my money!
As you saw in animation, this new case will have a sliding mechanism that will lock with a screw. To achieve this, we are going to place an insert with the soldering iron inside the 3D print. The reason to do this is because with time, the 3D print would erode with the placement and displacement of the screw. After placing the insert, we are going to insert the electronics, and before closing the case, be sure that all of the trash and print defects are taken care of with a knife or really small sandpaper. Once the 3D print is clean, you can close the case and insert the screw. If the screw hole in the cap is too small, with the soldering iron you can enlarge it slightly. We are going to use a really small screw, precisely an M2 screw of 6 mm of length. Finally, while closing the case, be sure that the USB-C port aligns with the hole. If not, with a small knife you can enlarge it or use it to help you align the USB-C port with the hole. Before doing anything else, we need to update the SlimeVr app. This will greatly improve your tracking and you will enjoy a new UI that is much more friendlier than the last one. Then we will click here to download. Remember, when you run the executable file, Windows Defense will flag it as malware, but don't worry, it's a trusted app. Then click More Info and click Run Anyway. If you already have the SlimeVr server, you just click Update and then click Next and Next. Then we click Close and we are done. The kind people of SlimeVr made this tool that makes it really easy to program the sensors. We will be using the latest framework to improve our tracking. Then choose the Wayboot D1 Mini as our motherboard. For the IMU, we will be choosing the BIMI 160 because that's our IMU. If you're using any other IMU, choose the right one for you. Just remember to choose an IMU that is on the list. Then, in the next option, you should choose the right angle that your IMU is placed on. If you have any doubts, go to the link under this option. There, we can see the relationship between the degrees and the placement. For example, we can see how the 270, 180 and 90 and 0 degrees are placed on the case. We are going to be using 0 degrees because that's how the IMU is placed on our case, but really you can choose any of these options, just that it needs to match your placement of the IMU. The next step is optional, since you can do it within the app. Both are recommended because sometimes it doesn't read the USB cable. In the two lines below, you should put your Wi-Fi credentials. Now lastly, to finish our programming, click continue and choose your USB port where your sensor is connected. Next we will see our program compile. When it's finished loading, you are set to go. Lastly, repeat all of the steps with all of your sensors. When you first boot up SlimeVr, you are going to be welcomed by the new UI changes. Let's get started. In this page, we are going to input our Wi-Fi credentials, then click Submit. In the next screen, we are going to find our trackers. If you didn't input your Wi-Fi credentials during programming, no problem. Just connect your tracker using a USB cable. Once connected, you are going to be welcomed with a screen telling you if you want to connect this USB device to SlimeVr. But since we did it in programming, it will connect automatically when you turn it on or connect it to a USB cable. As you can see, here is my hip tracker. But since you have never connected your trackers before, you are going to be welcome with the ID of the trackers. Once you can see all of the trackers connected, we are going to go to the next page. In this next page, you are going to assign the placement of your trackers. The minimum is 3 trackers, so if you have 3 trackers, you're going to put right foot, left foot, and waist. If you have 5 trackers, you're going to put right thigh, right ankle, left ankle, and waist. And if you have 6 trackers, you can put a hip tracker or a chest tracker. Before we go to the VR part, we are going to go. Remember, this next step is only for people that use the BME 160. For other trackers, you need to do other stuff to calibrate. For example, for a 650, you only need to leave them on the table or on the floor for like 30 seconds for them to calibrate. But for the BME 160, only one time you need to do the next step. Here into settings, serial control. Remember, if you are using the BME 160, you really need to do this. If not, your tracking is going to be messed up. First, you need to flip your tracker upside down. Then you click reboot or click the pole on the side of the tracker to reboot the tracker. Now it will say flip to the right side up. Remember, that's the smiley face. And then after 3 seconds, we are going to start spinning the trackers slowly, not too rough, not too slow, and until it gathers all the data. You need to spin it and move it all around. Now we did it. We're going to go to home and then put on our VR. After finishing calibrating everything, you should go to settings and SteamVR. Here you're going to turn on the different trackers according to SteamVR. If you're using 3 trackers, turn on feet and waist. If you're using 5 trackers, turn on knees. And if you are using also chest, turn on chest. And if you're using more than 6 trackers, you should also turn on elbows and hands. After finishing up selecting your trackers in SteamVR, now go to SteamVR, Settings, Manage Trackers. There, we are going to go to the green dots and assign our SlimeVr trackers with our SteamVR trackers. Be really careful, because if you messed up at this point, you might be locked out of SteamVR. So you will need to restart the process, or even with your desktop mode, restart your trackers. As you can see, these are 2 configurations of how to put on your sensors. The left one is the minimum amount of sensors you can use, that are 3 sensors, 1 in the hip and 2 on the feet. The right one is my configuration. Since I'm using 6 sensors, I'm going to use 1 in the chest, 1 in the hip and 4 in the legs, as it is shown on the image. To make the straps, I went down to my local seamstress. There I brought some flexible straps and Velcro. With that, the seamstress took my measurements and made the straps for less than $5. After turning on your trackers and putting them on and stepping into VR, so we will click I have my trackers on. Then we are going to stand straight as the image shows, with our feet in the ground steady. Then we are going to click reset. This is going to reset the position of all of our trackers. Now, to reset the mounting, we are going to squat down, as the image says, kind of like if you were skiing down a mountain. So lastly, we are going to take our measurements. We need to take our body proportions. The program offers an automatic way to do it. This automatic way will only give you like a rough measurements of your body. So after doing this, you need to tune your body proportions for the tracking to work well. After this, I'm going to show you how to do it. When you click start record, it will ask you to bend your knees, sit on a chair, then twist your body one way, twist your body the other way, and wheel around, all in 15 seconds. But I have better method, because this cannot give you the best result. So first we are going to spin our head more than 4 times, like this. Then we are going to do like a skiing position like this. And we are going to look one way, look the other way, do it a few times like this. Then we are going to bend one way like this, bend the other way like this, do it a few times, maybe touch your feet, do like this. Then after that, we are going to do hula hoops one way and the hula hoops the other way. Then after that, you are done. You are going to have 15 seconds to do that. After the body calibration part is done, you are going to be met with this screen. You are going to go to the body proportions, then you are going to manual calibration. Here, according to your real life proportions, you are just going to edit them to the right ones. In the description, I'm going to leave a page where it will tell you exactly how it should be and how it should look. Now that we are done, we can see how everything is working fine. We can lay around, we can sit on the floor, as you can see, and it works fine. Like it's not going to be like lighthouse tracking level, but is enough for what it is. This is part of the SlimeVr documentation. It will show you in detail how to calibrate. The quality of tracking will depend on how much time you put in calibrating your sensors. It can vary from really trashy tracking to really good comparing to lighthouse tracking. So it's up to you. You should go all the way down until this part. This part will tell you how it should look. This will show you how it should look when you are in VR, and depending on your measurements and the numbers that it should be. So good luck. I wish you the best, because this part is a little bit time consuming. I recommend you to visit this page, because this page will greatly help you calibrate your sensor. Here you input your body proportions and you are going to see how they look real life for VR. This is the last part. Once you calibrate everything, you have everything right, the last thing you need to do is putting your sensors on, and every single time you use SlimeVr, you need to click reset, and then click reset mounting. Remember, every time you click reset mounting, you need to stand on a skiing position, and after that you are ready to go. Good luck and thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.